The choices we're making right now, today, about the deep foundational systems for artificial intelligence, they feel like just technical details, but they're not. They are the choices that are going to define the world we live in. They're going to determine whether we build this incredible, thriving AI agent economy that's actually aligned with what we humans want or something else entirely. Because when you're talking about technology this big, this transformative, infrastructure is destiny. And this isn't a new idea. Just think about it. From these massive, ancient megaliths to the pyramids in Egypt, all the way to the Roman roads that connected an empire. Humanity has always known this deep down. The huge projects, the foundational layers we decide to build, they set the course for everything that comes after. We're the ones who inherited all of that, and right now, it's our turn to build. And that gets to the heart of our first big idea. Infrastructure is destiny. It's always been this way. Foundational systems have always shaped societies. Think about it. Ancient Roman aqueducts literally determined where cities could exist and flourish. Or more recently, the interstate highway system in the US completely reshaped the entire American economy. What you build on determines everything that can be built on top of it. Which brings us to today, to this fateful crossroads we're at. We're making a massive shift from physical infrastructure to digital infrastructure. Our next great civilizational project isn't made of asphalt and concrete, it's the foundation for autonomous AI agents. And let's be really clear here. We're not just talking about chatbots that answer your questions. We're talking about systems that are designed to act in the world for us. And that means we have a really profound choice to make about the world they're going to act in. And this is the choice, right here. On one side, you have a kind of solar punk future. Think Star Trek. It's bright, it's harmonious, it's totally aligned with human values. And on the other side, you have a cyberpunk future. Dark, chaotic, dystopian. Think Blade Runner or maybe even Grand Theft Auto. The path we end up on isn't some accident. It's going to be determined by the rules of the road that we decide to build right now. So the big question is, how do we build for that better, brighter future? Well, it turns out we actually have a fantastic blueprint already. Because governing autonomous AI agents is, it's a lot like managing cars on a highway. Now that might sound a little too simple, but stick with me. Because the analogy is incredibly powerful and, more importantly, it's really practical. The whole idea, as Jeff Kroom puts it so well, is that using a powerful tool like a car is a privilege. It's not an inherent right. And over the last 100 years, we've built this incredibly complex system to manage that privilege and keep everyone safe. Autonomous AI agents need the exact same thing. If we're going to keep these powerful systems from running amok, we need that same kind of serious, systemic governance. And you know what? The analogy maps almost perfectly across 5 key areas. For every part of car safety, there's a direct parallel for AI agents. So let's just break this down. First, you build the car. But AI agents, they're not really manufactured, they're grown from the internet, using all sorts of different tools from different companies, kind of like how Waymo and Tesla build their self-driving systems differently. Then you need a DMV for driver's licenses. For agents, we call those non-human identities. You need a safe place for your keys. For agents, that's a secure credential vault. You need laws on the road, which are the governance policies for AI. And finally, you need the police to enforce those laws. And for AI, that's where AI gateway firewalls come in. So let's dig into that first piece, the DMV. Just like every car needs a license plate and every driver needs a license, every single AI agent is going to need a driver's license of its own. We're calling these non-human identities, or NHIs. And as we start creating millions of these agents, we're going to need a huge, scalable digital DMV to issue and manage all those credentials, just to prove an agent is who it says it is and that it's actually authorized to operate. Okay, next up, the keys. Think about it. You would never, ever leave the keys to a million cars just lying around on a table. It's the same with agents. They're going to have millions, maybe billions of digital keys. Things like API tokens, credentials, and other secrets. All of that stuff has to be stored in an ultra-secure digital vault. A place so secure that people are looking at things like blockchain to make sure those keys can't be stolen or misused. All right, now for the laws of AI. These are the governance policies. We need rules of the road to prevent harmful bias from creeping into their decisions. We need to watch out for model drift, which is when an agent's performance gets worse over time. We absolutely have to ensure reliability and stop them from hallucinating or just making stuff up. They have to be trustworthy and, yeah, even kind. And, this is a huge one, they have to protect intellectual property. These are the traffic laws for our new digital highway. So let's recap. We have the build, the licenses, the keys, and the laws.
But here's the thing. A rule is just a suggestion if it isn't enforced. And when your drivers are moving at the speed of light, enforcement becomes maybe the most critical piece of this entire puzzle.
And this is where the AI gateway firewall comes in. The best way to think about it is like a police checkpoint. So an AI agent wants to do something, say access a big database. First, its request has to go to the gateway. The gateway then reviews that request against all our policies. Is this agent allowed to do this? Is the request safe? If everything checks out, the request goes through. But, and this is the really cool part, it doesn't stop there. The result that comes back from the database is also checked one final time before it's sent back to the agent. It's like a cognitive firewall for AI.
And why is this automated enforcement so absolutely non-negotiable? Well, because a human might make a mistake, right? An AI agent can make over 1 million mistakes before a human can even blink. The scale and the speed are they're beyond anything we can manually control. Automated enforcement isn't just a nice feature, it is an absolute necessity. So, let's pull all of this back together. The future isn't just some movie that we're all watching. It's something we are actively building right now with every single architectural decision and every line of code we write. The system we are designing today is the world we are all going to be living in tomorrow. That choice between the bright, human-aligned solarpunk future and the chaotic, dystopian cyberpunk one, it's not set in stone. It's going to be the direct result of the quality and the thoughtfulness of the infrastructure we choose to build. A safe, prosperous AI economy is totally possible, but it has to be built with real intention, with discipline, and with a whole lot of foresight. You know, the generations that came before us, they built the roads and the bridges and the networks that created the world we live in now. We inherited their work, the good and the bad. So now the question falls to us. What roads will we build for this new autonomous age? What kind of destiny will we choose?